That's right, Sex Ed Week. We're going to be talking about the penis. We'll be talking about the vagina. Do you think that's funny, butthead? Do you find it amusing that we'll be talking about the testicles? Yes, we're also going to be talking about venereal disease, sexual intercourse, the scrotum, the clitoris, and we will definitely be spending a lot of time talking about masturbation.
You've returned. Flesh and blood to walk between dimensions, between our world and theirs.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Captain Mike M. Welcome to episode 152 of the Gamers in Beta podcast. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I throw this out to everybody who laid down their life for us, living here in the U.S. Don't take that for granted. Let's welcome in the fellas. Joe, what's going on?
Hey, just ready to talk about some games.
Jay, how about yourself?
A little tired. Been riding the four-wheeler all weekend, but it's been a really great weekend, so good to be back.
And Corey, I understand you have brought a new soundboard with you. Explain.
Yes, hey now. First, before I explain, I want to apologize for our past soundboard sounding like dog shit. Trust me, we've known, and we've been trying to find a good solution, but I have...
Good news, everyone!
We have a soundboard that no longer sounds like dog shit, so hopefully it's good.
Awesome. So how's everybody's week been? Anything exciting, whether that's movies or television shows, before we get into the gaming talk? How about you, Jay?
The Breaking Bad, I am watching the last season of it, and holy shit, that's a great show. It has not lost me. I know it's been in the past when it finished, but for me, it's just finishing up now. And it's watching this last season, and it is great.
Now, Joe, I understand you went to see X-Men, and you give it 2 thumbs down.
Straight down. Oh my god, it's so bad.
Oh, that's really sad.
I had the highest hopes. Yeah, I seriously had the highest hopes. Like, after they pulled off Days of Future Past so well and made it really fun and such a good movie, I was like, man, yeah, they can do this. They're going to make this. And then...
And undid the shitty, terrible Last Stand.
Right, exactly. And then, you know, when they first showed all the screenshots and concepts of all the costumes and everything, and everybody got pissed off about it, so they fixed it, and they made a better costume and everything for Apocalypse. I was like, hey, they listened. They're going to try and make it better. Nope. It's straight up horse shit. That movie's terrible.
How are Angel and Psylocke?
Psylocke's all right. Angel, they took some liberties with Angel. Don't like him.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Everything feels just so shoehorned and just, like, forced, and they try and put humor in it, and the humor fails miserably, and it's just bad. Tiniest, most minuscule spoil ever, they make a joke. And it's like, oh, the third movie's always the worst one in a trilogy, right? And I think that they're talking about Last Stand. But this is totally the third movie in the trilogy since the reboot of X-Men movies. And so it's pretty much like self-aware, like even if it's not meant to be.
Yeah, they don't get to make that joke. You need to put out more movies that, I mean, Future Past was good, but it wasn't like, they haven't caught up to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, I don't think they're at that level where they're allowed to make those self-aware jokes.
No, definitely not. So yeah, don't go see that.
Cool.
I'm going to go with low expectations.
X-Men are not even on my radar. Maybe that speaks volumes about myself, but I did get to see Civil War this week.
Yeah.
Brought the kids to that, and that is like pretty much 2.5 hours of just nothing but fighting with the loose story underneath it. Pretty much what I thought about it.
So good, though. What did you think of Spider-Man?
I thought he was really good.
Hell yeah, he was.
I thought Spider-Man and Ant-Man, they didn't steal the show, but they were really good. Like, it wasn't like a cheese factor or anything like that. So
they definitely stole that fight. They stole that airport fight with the... spoilers for anyone who has not seen Civil War. Skip ahead a couple of minutes, but the giant Ant-Man part, which they were able to keep secret from the trailers. So fucking excited to see that.
And then we got shrunk down too as well. It was all good. There was nothing bad about it. I enjoyed it. The 2.5 hours didn't feel sluggish. Like I'm looking at my clock. Geez, when's this going to be over? It felt like there was a good amount of content in that time. So I enjoyed it. Corey, what about yourself? Anything this week, movie, TV related you want to talk about off the top?
Not really a lot. I've started watching Better Call Saul, but I know I'm pretty late to the party on that, so I'm not going to bore anybody with that talk. But I do enjoy it quite a bit. I was worried it was going to be shitty and just try to ride the coattails of Breaking Bad, but it's really good. Bob Odenkirk's awesome.
Now, Joe, I know I'm going to put you on the spot. We didn't talk about this, but it's been a hot minute since we talked some music. Are you pro or anti the Misfits reunion?
Definitely anti.
Thank you. Look at that. Brother from another mother across the pond, across the whole country, I should say. Yeah, I feel the same way. I just think it's garbage.
Right. At this point, I mean, Jerry only's been dragging the friggin' Misfits name straight through the dirt for years and years and years. I don't care what you do. It's written off. It's done.
But also, I've listened to so much Danzig, like, live lately, and he has just lost it. I mean, he's over 60. He always had that style of singing where he holds the mic weird, so a lot of like the last words of what he's ever singing gets cut off because he's doing some, like sort of pronounced movement. But just with his age now, it's gotten worse.
Maybe that's why he's going back to the Misfits, because now he doesn't have to belt him out.
He needs the cash. That's why.
Yeah, that's
usually it.
But yeah, I wanted to mention that we didn't talk about it on past shows, so I was curious on your take on that. A lot of news this week, Xbox-related content, No Man's Sky. We're going to try to get to all of that at some point throughout the show, but it seemed counterproductive to talk about the Xbox One stuff and then roll into E3 predictions, so maybe we'll hit some of this Xbox-related news in our E3 predictions. We've sort of broken this down into 3 classes here. Safe bets, would be nice, and long shot. Does anybody want to kick it off on some safe bets? How about you, Jay?
I'm going to go with a safe bet that they're going to announce something new in an Xbox console.
Okay, you want to expand on that a little bit?
I think we might see an Xbox Slim.
You think the Slim is a safe bet? And the rumor is supposedly 2 terabytes, smaller form factor. Obviously, that's why it's Slim, and maybe some 4K capabilities.
Maybe the 4K capabilities, but I don't know. That may be pushed out for another version of the Xbox, but we can get to that later.
I think that's a good safe bet. Yeah. Any other safe bets?
I believe they will announce games.
All right.
And and I think one of them will probably maybe a Resident Evil, where they're that's kind of been in the news a bit. So I think that may be a safe bet.
Corey, what about yourself? Do you have any safe bets?
Yeah, I was just going to say that the Resident Evil thing. Yeah, that's a given. And of course, they're going to say it's a return to form because they've said that for every Resident Evil since 4. We're going to see the new versions of Microsoft's console, the new versions of Sony's console, and both of them are probably going to piss me off because I hate the PC model of upgrading consoles. So that's what I see. And I see a very much lower key E3 than we've seen in the past few years. A lot of people bailed on it, so I think it's going to be lower key than we've seen in the past.
I think there's going to be a lot of content, but it's going to be spread out in different ways. Everybody's got their own little announcement, and that's how you're going to get it. It's not going to be really at E3. It's almost like pre-E3 news, right? What about you, Joe? Any safe bets on your side?
I'm going to say my safe bet is that The Last Guardian is going to get an official release date at this point.
Oh, good call.
You think that's a safe? That was going to be my long shot.
Yeah, you think so? I don't know. They definitely showed a lot of shit last year that they're saying is finally going to happen. So
yeah, I just feel like that's turned into the modern Duke Nukem. It's just never going to fucking happen.
Well, that was the thing up until finally this last E3, and then now that they started actually showing that they're trying to make progress, I think that it's no longer in the Duke Nukem Forever category.
It's now a PlayStation VR exclusive.
So I think my safe bets are going to show you more VR. Maybe show you some more games to get you hyped for that, because that goes on sale, in October? So I think there'll be some VR content. I think they'll also reveal the PS 4K or Neo or whatever you talked about. And I have some grave concerns over this next PlayStation console. There's already been leaked reports that one developer says that the system that we currently own is severely underpowered to run these VR games, and that's why they're coming out with this Neo. So that gives me a little room to pause there on the future of PlayStation and how they're going to survive.
Weren't the PlayStations that we played at PAX East, where we played PlayStation VR, weren't those normal PlayStations, though?
Yeah, weren't those like tech demos, though, controlled environments?
Well,
It was a very controlled environment, but I remember asking the people who obviously weren't going to know a lot. They weren't from Microsoft or weren't from Sony.
yeah,
but,
they didn't know anything.
They looked like regular PlayStations to me. Like, I did a thorough look at every one that I did demo on, and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't look like any new hardware I've never seen.
But what about like a PC? Like, I can play certain games on my PC in ultra-high settings for 10 minutes, right? And then the thing, like, dumps out, and I get, like, a kernel error.
They were all super small, yeah. Each demo was.
Yeah, you really can't tell. It just gives me some, like I said, a room to pause here. Is like, is Microsoft doing the right thing now by releasing the next thing souped up, way more powerful, and is PlayStation cutting the corners by coming out with this slightly revamped model just so it can run VR? Are enough people interested in PlayStation VR worthy enough to get this slight bump in performance? We're not going to know. Again, this is why it's E3 prediction. It's all speculation. Until we can actually see the specs, no one will know. But I'm just putting it out there right now. I'm concerned about PlayStation going forward. Some other safe bets for me. EA shows us something for FIFA or Star Wars. I think that's a safe bet, no?
Yeah.
Based on all past
Yeah, I
E3.
think you're going to see some of the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, there
Definitely.
could be.
I was expecting the rim shot there with a nice new sound.
I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to it.
I know. Buttons are tough.
Better late than never.
So would be nice, Jay. Is there anything that you have under that category?
Would be nice. I really don't. I mean, what would be nice if I know everybody else is probably against this, but I hate to say it, but when they released both these consoles, I think they were both underpowered right from the beginning. Just because the hardware is moving at such an expedited pace. We're not going to see a 10-year cycle, but I would like to see, updated and more powerful, and but backwards compatible, able to play the current games, but moving forward with a more powerful system. But I think that's something we're going to see later on. Maybe Sony will announce, but that's my biggest thing.
All right. Joe, how about you? Anything under would be nice?
Would be nice. Let's say Sony announces the official 100% cancellation of the Vita and makes all Vita games playable on PS4 via the store.
Wow.
Just execute their handheld console.
Hey, man, it's already been, rumored that they're stopping production or whatever, hasn't it?
I'm not against it. I would be... It would be very amazing if they were like, it's dead, fuck you, everyone who owns it.
Yeah.
Well, they don't even have to say that it's dead, but they can make the games available on the console. How about that?
Yeah, the ones that are playable on console, yeah.
That would be cool.
Corey, how about yourself?
Would be nice, Red Dead 2. There's been a lot of rumors of it.
Solid.
I think...
Solid.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good shot we're going to see a Red Dead 2.
Good call there.
Possibly one of the console exclusives, because that would make a big fucking difference if one of them could get their hands on it.
I thought Rockstar would go down there, but that's why it's called would be nice.
Well, they do timed exclusives. They did it with last Grand Theft Auto.
I was gonna mention that, so steal a little bit of my thunder there. But also, it would be nice to get some official specs on this Xbox 1.2 to see if it's out there. Really, if it's 6 teraflops, which means it's 4 times more powerful. It'd be nice to see that in action. Also, would be nice to see more ReCore, Horizon Zero Dawn. Those are 2 games that I'm very interested in, so it would be nice to see them as well. Long shot. Jay, anything out there you think's a long shot?
I really think that it's a long shot that we're going to see them announce the more powerful systems at this point in time. I mean, I'd like to see it. I think we're going to see, like I said, probably a Slim from Xbox, but I don't think we're going to see an announcement for the new consoles, at least hard specs. They might say, we're going to come out with a new one, but I don't think we're going to see any hard specs, so I think that's going to be far off.
Now, how about some hard pecs? Would you be into that?
I mean, you can do Pornhub on your PS4, so there's that, I guess.
It's so optimized. It's awesome.
Now, Corey, what's your long shot?
That Nintendo talks about anything except the new Zelda. Like anything in addition to the new Zelda. I would love to see anything about the NX. Anything.
I agree. Joe, how about you?
I'm going to go with it like a straight up actual long shot, like a make-believe thing. So let's say, for one, PlayStation announces a sequel to the Parappa the Rapper series.
Oh, jeez.
And it's
I'm
probably
with ya.
based in the Trap.
All right, if we're going there, PsyOps. We're going to see PsyOps, too.
Also, Oculus gets a price cut to battle PlayStation VR.
Yeah, that is very far out there. No way in hell.
Long shot.
Yeah, big time long shot. Yeah.
I'm going to say, long shot for me, Nintendo, what Corey said, the NX. I think we're not going to see that. That'd be a long shot. I think it's also going to be a long shot for Oculus and the Xbox One. I don't think they're prepared to announce that yet. I'm very curious on that. With this system, they're saying how much powerful it is. Again, is that going to give us a VR experience closer to what PC people are going to have, or is it going to give us something closer to what PlayStation VR is? And I guess maybe just quickly go around the room here. If you could get an Xbox 1.2 that was Oculus, had some Oculus capabilities, but it was going to be in that medium range, not the real ultra experience, is that something that interests you, or would you still rather play that on PC? How about you, Jay?
I'm in, and maybe not for the reason you think. Not so much for the Oculus, but if it can run Oculus, that means it's going to be able to run games better, too. So for that reason, I would definitely want to upgrade, but I don't know if I'd do it immediately.
I mean, do you guys think I'm crazy that the Xbox could run Oculus just as well as a PC? Does everybody... I mean, it's fine to disagree with me, but do people agree with me? They think it's going to be somewhat of a middle-of-the-road experience rather than a real high-end experience?
Well, you're saying as well as a PC. That's tough. It depends on the PC, but yeah, if you're specifying that it's a middle of the road, I mean, you'd have to buy the console and still spend the $600, or are you talking they put out a bundle?
Oh, there's probably going to be some bundle that's going to be close to $1,000.
Oh,
right.
My God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who the hell would do that?
I mean, they're not going to give you... Well, I mean, it's $1,000 rather than going out and buying a PC.
They should give it to me. I'm a gamer. I'm entitled.
Good call. But no, if they did have that option and I wanted to go in that direction, yes, it would be a good option. And I think that it's a good direction for them to go into is, I mean, to compete against PlayStation VR, I think having Oculus on the Xbox, if it could play it even, in a medium state or whatnot, is still going to be better than PSVR.
This is my personal feelings, and everybody knows well enough by now how I feel about the Xbox One versus PS4. But if they can come out with the Xbox 1.2 and they don't muddy the message with all this Chromecast stuff that's being bandied about, and they just focus on a system that's just going to do games, and this thing is 4 times as more powerful, 6 teraflops, and PlayStation comes out with something that's just going to give you a slight bump in performance, then I really think it's game over for PlayStation. They're going to switch spots, in my opinion. But there's a lot. This is pure speculation. It's E3. That's a long ways away. But just on the surface, that's my gut reaction. Oh my God! If they can come out and give you something with Oculus compared to PlayStation VR and 1,000-foot golf.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I don't. It just, to me, it seems like apples and oranges experience.
Has that ever happened though? Like, in any console generation that one console, they literally switch spots. I mean, I know they've come close, and I know that the Genesis was outselling the Super Nintendo at one time, and it was catching up before they moved on to the next generation. But I don't know if any consoles have literally switched spots before.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is switching spots in the sense that you go from the PS4 to the PS4 Neo. So that's the next one, right? And Xbox One to the Xbox 1.2. So we already know the PS4 has sold 40 million, and that's outsold the Xbox One. So we know the PS4 for all intents and purposes, has won this generation. The next generation, I'm saying, I think it could go Xbox 1.2. It could be like the 360 and PS3. The Xbox 1.2 could be on top, and the PS4 Neo could be on the bottom.
Oh, as if this was like a kind of a half step towards the next generation. Like this would literally...
It is. It really is. I mean, it's not like it is. I mean, if they're going to upgrade these systems and make them more powerful, that is the next gen console, really.
If it's going to do what they claim. Again, this is still all speculation and nothing confirmed.
Yeah.
Let's get into the community stuff, but I think real quick, I think the long shot here, and it wouldn't surprise me because we know Sony likes to make changes on the last minute, on the fly, price drops, anybody. They come out with a system that is going to be equal or more powerful. They'll figure out the numbers, the cost, what they can absorb, but they're not going to let Microsoft come out with a system that's going to be more powerful. So if Microsoft has leaked this information, whoever threw it out there, my long shot is Sony is taking this information in, and they're going to come out with a system that's more powerful. That they're not going to let this lead evaporate. They're not going to let a PS2 to PS3 scenario happen again.
Yeah. That's
my long shot for E3. But the community question from last week, do you customize your gaming consoles, i.e. add hard drives, custom upgraded controllers, add accessories, or skins? So we got a fair amount of responses down below. I'll read the first couple, and then, Corey, why don't you jump in after me?
Sure.
Let's see. First of all, Jeremy, Runer 2 of Dad's Getting Grounded, modded my PS2 to play backups and upgraded PS3 hard drive. Other than that, no point to cosmetics on console. You never see it sitting on the shelf, and I don't invite people over to show off vinyl stickers or neon lights. Give that man a round of applause. We have that on the soundboard or something close to it.
I'll give you that. Sorry, wrong console, but I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that, too.
Let's see. Next we have Graham G. Hammocks 14. He says, I dropped a 2 terabyte hard drive into my PS4. Best decision I ever made. And the last one I'll read here is Alex, iSky Kiddo, of course, of the 40cast, all of the above. If anybody has ever talked to Alex or follow him on Twitter, you know that he loves Assassin's Creed and he loves his franchises like The Witcher and The Division. So he's got various decals and things like that on his consoles.
Yeah, and before we go any further, I also want to say that mine, if we're going to go around the room and do ours, exact same thing as G Hammocks 14. I did the same thing. I got rid of my 500 gig, threw a 2 terabyte hard drive into my PS4, and it was super easy and super cheap to do because I bought an external hard drive and just popped it open, and it was like half the price than if I just bought the hard drive. Like, to put it.
I'm sort of regretting doing I did the 1 terabyte because it had the SSD, the hybrid.
Yep.
I should have went with the 2 terabyte because I still need the space.
Yeah.
But anyways, go ahead, Corey, take it away.
All right, that was so. The next one is at Pirate or Ninja on Twitter. I put a clear case on original Xbox for me and friend. One was easy, the other was a pain. Wait, isn't it the same job he did for him and a friend? So I guess the friend's was a pain?
Yeah, maybe one was made differently. Maybe they were, I don't know enough about the original Xbox, but maybe they were manufactured differently. You could have had one that was made in Mexico and one that was made somewhere else.
That's true.
It could have been a different case, too. I mean, you could buy those clear cases from different companies, too, so depending on, like eBay and stuff.
Those clear cases did look pretty cool on those Xboxes.
Yeah.
Those green ones, right?
Yeah. I had a modded Xbox that had one of those clear green cases that looked pretty sweet.
Now, do they ever sell any that were like that, or did you have to buy it? Like, do it yourself?
I bought mine from somebody on Craigslist, so I'm not sure how it came originally.
All right.
The next one is at Holy Headshot, our boy Holy Headshot. Not since replacing the case on my PS2 with a translucent blue ice top load case. Too much trouble. What did that even look like? I don't think I've ever seen one of those. One of the translucent blues.
Yeah, Holy Headshot pictures, or it didn't happen.
And the last one is Denny, a beer guy, or at Loose Screw on Twitter from the Tap the Craft podcast. I only add hard drives to increase the storage space. Mine sit in the living room, and my wife doesn't like them to stand out. Ugh, that's too bad. You got to get those things to stand out, man. You spent a lot of money on those. You got
Let's see. We got Magma Flow 328 of Dad's Getting Grounded. If the change is useful, larger HDD, a longer cable, etc. Dave K. RoboPig. I added an HD. My son adds crumbs if that's a customization. If it makes the system not work, it's might be a customization. Is there a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the DVD tray?
No, but did you see that article this week? Some guy's PS4 wasn't running that well. It was like it smelled. They opened it up and there was a snake inside of it, and the snake melted into the the motherboard.
Oh man!
Whoa,
That's awesome.
That's bad.
There's a picture of the snake too, just hanging out, glued to the board.
Oh man!
Is that covered by the Geek Squad or no?
I don't know. Instead of snakes on a plane, it's snakes on a PS4.
And Devious Mr. Matt of the 40 Cast upgraded the hard drive in my PS4. That's it. I don't care for skins or any of that stuff. So
I bet you he likes Mr. Skin though. He seems to me like the type of guy that would go to that website and look at all the naked people in the movies.
Oh.
Mr. Skin.
You're on fire with the rim shot right now.
I am.
So, Meatwad of Doom, or Detroit Slasher of Open Forum Radio, says, "Heck yeah, plus 4 terabyte hard drive." And then he included a picture.
Aw.
Yeah. I love that Midwest accent. One more time, Joe.
Heck yeah, plus 4 terabyte hard drive.
All right.
Midwest Unlocked.
And then Indio Techno says, add 4 terabyte external to my XB1 and painted a controller with a Sunset Overdrive theme.
Yeah, he did.
Can just buy a skin or something?
Painted it himself? That's kind of...
No, some guy on Twitter. That guy, I haven't seen that guy around in a
Yeah, he's
while.
still around. Yeah.
He is? Okay.
That's wild.
All right.
Did any of you guys ever buy those faceplates for your Xbox 360s?
Yes. I had a wood grain one, and not the wood grain one that Microsoft had, and that's what I had on mine from the beginning, and I never took it off.
I never bought any of those because I thought they were just a cheap fad, and then I don't know if you guys saw them at PAX. There were a few at some of those retro game stores. Those faceplates were going for well over $100.
Oh yeah.
I guess there were rare ones. People collect them. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah,
They had a Gears Emergence Day one, which was at one point in time they were selling like $400.
Jeez.
Once the faceplates went away, so did the value.
I had a really bad lapse of judgment.
We all do.
Pretty much every day, but there was this one day that I bought the that game system. Is everybody familiar with that? The TV in a briefcase type thing, and you can hook up whatever system you want to the TV.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that. Yeah.
The games case. Yeah, so I got the Halo Vanguard games case, and I just didn't want to toss any old Xbox 360 or PS3 in there, so I went out and bought a white, glossy Xbox One off of Craigslist or eBay. People go out and buy those, and then they just break them up and sell all the parts individually. So I just bought the console itself, and then I got the Halo controller. And when you get the games case, especially the Halo one, it comes with all these Halo stickers. So here I have the gleaming white Xbox 360 sitting in there nice with the Halo controller and the Halo games case. I'm like, I'm not satisfied. So I take the stickers that come with it, and I put the stickers all over the console, make them all nice and uniform, break out the ruler, make sure everything is, proportionally correct. And then I got some of those Control Freaks, the blue ones with the Halo logo on.
I had those, for the 360.
Yeah, I really geeked out hard on that thing. That's too bad, too, because I would sell that white Xbox in a heartbeat, because I really don't need 4 Xbox 360s, but you take it to GameStop and all that, and they look at you like you got 5 heads.
Yeah, they give you 3 cents.
Exactly. So it's still sitting in my games case. My son plays it from time to time. But, Jay, let's not delay this any longer. What is the question for next week?
What is the question for next week? That's a good question. What is the question for next week? Seeing as our topic was about the next step consoles, or the iterative of the current consoles, would you buy a next step console, the 1.5 or the PS4.5 or PS4K? Would you upgrade to that if it had a little more power?
And I will say this, on paper, the rumors that are out there, the Xbox 1.2 does not sound iterative to me. That sounds like a brand new console. You got that much horsepower, and it's going to be 4K, and it's got other capabilities with Windows 10. That doesn't feel like just like a little bump. That feels like a brand new unit. The PS4.5, the Neo, whatever, to me sounds a little bit more like an iterative console.
But how much of that is true that Microsoft is saying? I mean, none of it's been confirmed. All of it's speculation.
Right, well, that's all we can go on.
I think they're trying to talk it up. I don't think it's going to be nearly as powerful as they're saying.
No, they're going to have to eat a lot of money, or they're going to have to charge a lot of, a big price for it.
Yeah.
Right? It's got to be one or the other. But let's move into what we've been playing. I will go first because looks like my list is a little bit longer than most. And my wife and kids are away this weekend. They still are. And I was thinking I was going to play a whole bunch of games this weekend and get a lot done. Well, I really just played Doom Friday night through today, and I'm still not done with that single-player campaign. It is very good. There's a decent story there, but man, it throws a lot of enemies at you, a lot. And, it's getting to the point now where it feels like it's patting itself a little bit at the end. Like how many times can I kill certain types of enemies and then go into a new sequence and you thought you killed the last one of existence and boom, then they all are back again. So it's getting a little long in the tooth there at the end, but maybe that's just a little fatigue of playing 3 days in a row. But I feel like I'm right at the very end. So a very enjoyable experience. For the $36 I paid for it, I can't ask for any more. And it's got a little bit of a Dead Space 2 vibe going on there, a lot of pentagrams, all these candles and stuff like that. Or maybe Dead Space 2 had a Doom vibe going on.
Yeah, I think that's more accurate.
Yeah, chicken or the egg or something like that, right? Other than that, this week, Uncharted 4 made some great progress. I am really blown away by the puzzles in this game. And, some people out there got a very smart brain, much smarter than me with some of the stuff that they've come up with. I won't give us spoilers, but you go into this sort of, I guess, the third or fourth place that you go to in the game, and you think I don't know, maybe you do find the Holy Grail here. I'm not sure because I haven't progressed farther than that. But there's this one really elaborate puzzle that you have to do, and it just really blew my mind. So I think people will know when they get to that was really well done. And then the other two things, Homefront and Goliath. Homefront is another one that I picked up super cheap on CD keys. I'm playing it on PC. And it's not as bad as everybody says. Maybe that's because I'm playing it on PC. It's certainly a mundane, mediocre shooter. And if you've ever listened to this podcast before, I like those type of games. So I'm having fun with it. It seems to have a lot of content. You can follow along with the story, but there's all sorts of strike missions that pop up when you're going from A to B. So I really don't see any reason for all the hate, but again, I'm playing it on PC where I think it's a better experience than on the consoles. And then lastly, Goliath. This is a game that we saw at PAX East, and unfortunately, it's still not great. It still looks like I don't know, the game for me, I had high hopes. It's got a cool concept. You're this human on another planet, and you don't know where you are, and all of a sudden you can build these mechs, and then you go out in this open-world environment sort of and defeat enemies and create different mechs as you go along, but there's no dialogue whatsoever, so it's a very quiet game. You're just reading everything that's coming up on the screen, so that sort of, takes you out of the experience, and it's a punishing game, man. I'm dying a lot, and I'm not making much progress in it, so it's one of those games I feel like I need to go off and farm some area that I haven't seen before to try to level up, because I'm like a level 6 and like level 3 guys are taking me out, so I can't quite make heads or tails of it yet, so I gotta play it some more.
The demo we played at PAX, you were all leveled up, and in this it's almost Minecraft-ish, where you've got to, yes, get your resources to build stuff and everything, and without a story and without proper scaling of enemies and stuff, it could kill that. I have not been playing, but just like I said, from playing at PAX with a fully upgraded, you could do whatever you want. It would be tough. So you're saying they have not done those things very well? Yeah,
I mean, I don't, unless I'm missing a concept here. I mean, I'm level 6. and lower level guys are beating me. And then there's the part of the story I'm now at. You got to go beat these trolls, and there's like 3 or 4 of them, and they're level 8, and I'm level 6. If I can't beat a level 3 guy, how am I supposed to beat 4 level 8 guys?
Yeah.
And I'm just getting destroyed, and it's frustrating. And the frame rate issues, which very well could be my own PC, but the frame rate goes drastically low, drastically high. So.
Yeah, I think that game had issues anyways, because even when we were playing it there, it kind of had issues. And
stopped stuttering issues.
Yeah, and I was hoping that was just an issue that maybe they could fix before they released, but it sounds like it's pretty much showing as it did there, which is too bad because it kind of had some potential.
Yep. So, don't want to belabor that point too much. Who wants to go next? Maybe you, Joe?
Oh, but before we go any further, I just want to say
Sure.
I hope you get a box quote for Homefront that just says, "Not as bad as everyone says." Captain Mike from Gamers in Beta.
I really love those types of games. I mean, there's plenty of shooting, there's plenty of exploration. It looks good. Is it as exciting and riveting as, Destiny or Division or some other shooters that we're playing? No, but it's not a bad game, and I guess as an artist, I'm using air quotes here, as a musician who's put out records and had things not work out right and then sort of have to pick yourself back up and re-record stuff or find someone to put something out. I know that struggle, so I'm sort of drawn to that story that they've, had so many publishers and developers have been passed on, so my interest was piqued enough to pick it up and see how bad or how good it was.
I was very disappointed that Mike did not say, it's good, it's a generic shooter. I like those.
I did say that. Didn't I say that earlier?
You didn't say generic, though. That's what you usually use.
I said mediocre, mundane.
Mediocre, mundane, right. But
I think that you're giving Destiny too much credit.
I still think "not as bad as everyone says" would be a perfect box back quote.
Yeah.
Good. I'll get in touch with them. All right, Joe.
All right, so yeah, I've been playing Doom some more. I didn't get to put in a lot of time, unfortunately. It's been super hectic here, rent's coming up and everything, and the more time we put into our job, the more money we make. So
nice.
I've just been basically cracking down really hard on work, but last night I got to fire it up, and it is going on longer than I expected. Not in a bad way, but I'm on chapter 8, and apparently there's 13, 14 chapters or something like that. So I thought I was at the end. I was like, all right, I only got an hour left of the game. Nope, but
where are you? Where are you now?
You're in the Lazarus area, right?
Yeah, so I just got out of hell and took a tram and got the BFG and stuff. So
I think we're in almost the exact same spot. I just got the BFG last night.
Yeah, I'm probably maybe 2 or 3 hours past that.
And I've got to ask, is it anticipation that the game is over, but you want it to continue, or does it seem like it's dragging on and you want it to end?
Well, it felt like that would have been a pretty natural area to wrap it up after you got back from hell and you were back on Mars, and it felt like it was going to come to a conclusion there, but apparently not, and that's fine.
Nope.
I'm not upset about it whatsoever. I got the wrong vibe from the game, I guess. I misread things, but yeah, I've made a pact with myself to where I would not play Overwatch until I finished Doom, because I didn't want to get Doom kind of thrown to the wayside and forget about it and everything like that. So,
and you already have Overwatch, right?
Yeah, I do have Overwatch. It's all installed. It's ready to play, and it's just sitting there taunting me. I did end up going to that Overwatch thing last weekend, though, which was at a movie theater, and they were showing all the vignettes and everything, and there was actually probably about a half an hour to 45-minute long dev interview where they had 4 devs and people from the art team and everything all in a line, and they were having an interview, and that was pretty interesting. And they said they were going to give you exclusive swag, and it was just a cup.
Thundersticks.
Yeah, it was Thundersticks and a cup. But I sold the cup on eBay for about $40. So
Jesus.
I pretty much, I turned it into, hey, I get to go to this gaming thing, and I'm going to get paid to do it.
Damn!
Well done.
So, you know, that's kind of like the mindset I have at this point, because that's my job, right? So now I'm just going to turn everything into money.
Now, did you keep those artistic, snotty art jeans that you posted the other day?
Oh, the ones on Twitter.
No. Those are gone. Those gotta get out. Silence plus noise. Shut the fuck up. What kind of band is
That made me lol.
Now, what about the bike courier ones, the little high rise, the floods?
Oh, those are out too. Get them out.
Get them out.
Can't handle that shit. But yeah, so I don't know. It's going good. I can't wait to get back into Overwatch. I look forward to finding out what else they're going to throw at me in Doom, because I thought that I had probably seen all the damn bad guys at this point, but nope. They just keep introducing new ones, and I was like, okay, well, count me in. The guy's like a rhino? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing all the original enemies, and the only ones I know that I haven't seen yet are, like, I knew that the Pinkies were going to show up. Pinkies are like the rhinos do. I know that I haven't seen a Cyber Demon yet. I haven't seen the Invisible guys yet, and I haven't seen a Spider Mind yet. Those are the only three that I know they're probably going to be boss battles, I assume.
Yeah, I've seen a Cyber Mancubus at this point.
Are those the green ones? The green Mancubus? Yeah, I just started seeing those too.
Yep. So that's where I am, and yeah, everything's going great.
Nice.
Awesome. Now, how about yourself, Corey?
Doom, obviously. I don't want to belabor that point, but every time I sit down to play it, it just gets better. Like, I sit down for like an hour or two session, and every time I shut it off, I'm like, I didn't think I could like this game any more than I did before, and I just do. It's so feels like the old school Doom that I love it, but I don't want to beat that dead horse because we've already...
Well, I want to talk about it a little bit.
Sure.
What are some of the weapons that you guys are enjoying?
I really, really enjoy... probably the super shotgun is my favorite. I use that until I run out of ammo. I use that on almost everything.
My default is the shotgun itself, and I use the lobbing like grenade that you shoot off of it with it as its upgrade.
I do that too. Yeah, it's like an extra grenade almost. I throw a couple grenades and then I do that.
I do not use grenades at all in the game.
Really? They're so helpful. Like, their blast radius is enormous.
Yeah, they soften up those fat guys.
Yeah, they're really, really good, and especially if you go into a room full of the possessed or whatever they're called, just the low-level guys, takes them out pretty good. And the slow guys, the fat guys, they're really good for. I don't use that, what's that sniper type one? I don't remember what it's called. It's like the railgun or something.
The plasma rifle or whatever it is?
No, the other one next to it, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The one's got, it almost looks like the BFG, but it's got more of a halo look to it.
Yeah, I don't use that one very often at all.
Now, are there upgrades for the pistol? Because at this point in time, I'm not very far in. I just have the pistol, and I just got the shotgun, so...
Well, there's a leveling system in the game that you can upgrade all the weapons.
Yeah.
So it's up to you how you prioritize. But yes, there is an upgrade path for the pistol.
You play on PC, right, Jay?
Yes, I am playing on PC right now.
Are you using controller or keyboard?
Controller.
Oh, okay. Well, I know if you're using keyboard, you push tab and it takes you to your upgrade trees and everything.
Yeah, I can get into that through the you use the menu button to get in, but
okay.
Because I'm using a 360 pad, I haven't upgraded to use a one controller on it yet. So, but I am enjoying it. It's very fast.
Yeah.
I mean, like I believe Mike mentioned last week, was it that you're in sprint all the time?
Right.
And
Have you tried that, Joe, to hold the shift key down and see if you go slower?
No, I don't want to go slower.
Joe, I was just wondering if you tried it.
No, not at all.
There's times where I want to go slower, but I find depending on the weapon, if you pull left trigger, you aim, and when you're aiming, it slows you down.
Yeah, a little bit. And most of them have an upgrade that make it so you don't slow down when you do that, though. Eventually, you'll get to that.
Oh, okay. I kind of like having that because that's how instead of hitting shift or whatever, I'm doing that to slow down. So
I think
all I got to say is the Berserker, the quad
damage,
kill, quad damage, the purple thing, and the BFG are godsends because there are certain points in that game where you were just in a room with all these, like, not bosses, but just the bigger enemies.
Yeah, those are kind of like mini boss battles where it's just like a battle against a mob of a ton of guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And you need that quad damage.
Whenever I go into one of those rooms and like the badass music kicks in and I know it's going to be a big fight, I can't tell you how many times I've finally ripped through like a huge room full of dudes and then I found the power up just sitting there. I'm like, motherfucker.
Right.
Exactly. Sometimes what I would do is I would find it right away. Well, I realized that I should not be using it right away. I should defeat the first wave or two.
Right, yeah.
And then get it, and then wait for the big guys to use it. So I was getting a little greedy with it.
Yeah, I've run into a few fights where I've lost and then realized there's a power-up in it. So I'm like, okay, let me grab this quad damage just before the Barons of Hell show up, and then I can take out a few of them and chainsaw the last one or something like that.
The Barons of Hell I use just a BFG. I'm just like, fuck it, these guys are going down. Now, I want to talk real quickly about the chainsaw. I am finding that some enemies I can't kill with the chainsaw. It says, like, not enough fuel or not enough... There's no leveling up system for the chainsaw.
Yeah, you just need enough fuel. I think like six or seven can take out a Baron of Hell.
But what I don't get is I see these fuel buckets on the ground, and I go over them, and my guy doesn't pick them up. But then when I go ahead and try to kill a Baron or Hell or some other big guy, it says I have insufficient fuel.
That's weird.
Well, why didn't you let me pick it up?
I have not run into that.
I feel like there's a disconnect going on there. So, but anyways, I'm almost at the end of the game, so it's kind of irrelevant at this point. Real quick, least favorite enemy in the game, Joe, so far.
Oh man, I don't think I have an enemy.
I have one I can think of right away.
The
Me
rocket
too.
jumping guy, the guy with the rocket pack. That guy's fucking annoying to me.
Oh, the Revenant, the skeleton guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that you got, like, that's the figurine you'd get if you got, like, the...
Yeah.
He's badass looking.
And what's your
I hate the fucking summoners because I turn around to try to shoot them and they disappear and teleport on the other side of me. So I have that lock on for the rocket, and if you can nail them with the lock on, it usually takes them out in like 1 to 2 shots. So
fuck those things.
Yeah, I hate them.
But there's my second one, because you already mentioned that, is there's these invisible, like, rhino things that come at you. They're like not super invisible. They're sort of like gray, like blurred out. Those things suck as well. Enjoy those when you come across those.
Yeah, they're just like invisible pinkies, right? That's what they were in the old game. I have not run into them yet, but I'm like anxious to.
Me either.
Yeah.
Ugh, that sounds terrible.
Yep, they suck.
Seeing as I'm not that far in and I won't have much to share, I do have one question for you. How do you get into the older levels?
I haven't come across it, so I'm almost at the end, and I haven't come across them. But there is a leveling up system that you can use. You get leveling up for your character, and one of the paths that you can go down is that when you go to next to secret areas to get collectibles or any of those rooms, your controller will start vibrating, and your thing, the locator up on the screen, will vibrate as well. And then if you level it all the way up, it will show you on the map, like when you go by it, like, hey, here's a secret entrance.
I'm wondering if it's kind of like...
I haven't come across them yet.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's like Wolfenstein, where there was one in each level.
There's secrets in every level.
Yeah.
I've only found one. I found a lot of secrets, but I've only found one retro level secret area in one level. Early on, too.
I haven't found any. I found a bunch of the little dolls or whatever.
Yeah, I've found a lot of those. I have that thing unlocked where, like, you can see all the things that eventually unlock when you get close to them automatically on your map. So, like, I'm very thorough about trying to search the entire map for stuff, too.
Yeah, I haven't been that thorough because this game lets you go back and play. So I'm just like, I can go back and don't have to do it on the first try.
Nice.
Anything else? Either one of you before we kick it over to Jay? I think you had one more thing, Jay, right?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
For me, I played Skyrim with the high-res texture pack on PC because with the upgrades on the PC, I am getting back into using it quite often. As a matter of fact, I've even hooked it up to my television. And the high-res texture pack, which is... it's an official one from the devs for PC. Man, does that make a big difference, and it makes me want to go in and play. I want to check out some more of the mods that you can put on that improve the visuals in the game. And I'm kind of running around and trying that out, and so that's what's got me back into Skyrim and why I'm playing that. And there is a lot of people that are still playing Skyrim because of all the mods that you can put in. They've even created new content. So I'll probably look into that when I have time. And then I'm going to mention Dead Space once again. I have been playing that. But, man, I'm telling you, this game, I never played it before. Everybody can yell at me for it. But, God, this does not look like a game that was released early in the 360. You know, I mean, it looks so good. It looks like a game that could have been released nowadays, and the gameplay is so much fun to play. I can't wait to get back and keep playing. I wish I have had more game time lately. Otherwise, I'd be done already. But I've been playing the snot out of it. Just wanted to mention that, and that's all I've been playing.
Awesome. So we're going to do another iteration of the hot seat here, and we're also going to do DILLIGAF, I think, tonight as well. So those two segments that we debuted last week are going to happen again tonight. Let's bring on the guest first, shall we?
Hello.
Hello, Sean.
Hi, is this the pizza department? I'm waiting for a pizza. I was hoping this is the call I was going to get. No?
No, this is something better than pizza. Corey, you should tell them what this is.
This is the hot seat. Yeah, you're in the fucking hot seat now.
Alrighty then.
Are you ready, Sean, for this? Now, you heard last week's show. We're not holding back, and this is all in good spirit, and hopefully we bruise your ego along the way.
That's fine. That's fine. I knew what I was getting myself into when I heard Matt do it, so we're good.
All right. Jay is going to soften the blow first.
Okay.
Alrighty. Due to the fact that we know that you do the ARC kind of act as it's real, the role-playing in it, I wanted to know, have you ever searched or watched porn with a video game character in it?
No.
You have not?
Never?
And why,
No.
And why not?
I don't know. I'm more of a realist, I guess. I mean, I kind of like the real thing. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me, the whole cartoon thing. I mean, if that's your thing, cool. That's awesome. Not my thing.
You're not better than me. I just want to say that you're not better than me. Not that I've heard.
Did you notice this week that they're getting to ban the Overwatch porn?
There's Overwatch porn?
Oh.
No, not anymore. They banned it.
You're just not looking hard enough.
All right.
God.
All right, Jay.
Well, in that case, then, with the role-playing, have you ever masturbated to a game?
Okay, so we know the answer is yes. Now,
Question. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second. Ooh, let me compose myself.
I want to follow up. What was Mario wearing at the time?
Okay.
Little Peach really does it for you, huh?
So, go back on. No, I have never masturbated. What?
I don't know if I believe this.
Well, you don't have to believe it. I'm telling you it's the truth. I've never actually masturbated to a video.
Even those hot chicks that come in for karaoke in the bar?
Clearly, Sean did not own the original Xbox with Dead or Alive.
I was just about to make
Oh,
it.
God. Yeah.
I actually did own the original Xbox, but it did not have Dead or Alive.
See?
You've just seen those jumblies.
So who's up next here to assault his ego? Looks like Corey. I think feeling this is gonna go downhill here quick. Go ahead.
All right, now this is just a precursor question. This isn't an actual question. What actress or celebrity do you find the most attractive? I need to know for this question.
Kate Beckinsale.
All right, Kate Beckinsale. Would you rather have Kate Beckinsale shit on your face after a night of drinking beer, it's one of those shits, or titty fuck a fat man to completion?
I would rather have Kate Beckinsale shit on my face after drinking beer all night.
Oh!
And why is that?
Because Kate Beckinsale is beautiful, and I would do anything for her at this point in my life. So there you go.
That and you'd have to reach completion, titty fucking the fat man. I think that would be way hard.
I think I'd close my eyes and picture Kate Beckinsale.
You really think you're doing it for her?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, that's not right.
Wow. I was waiting for Corey. I knew he was going to have a good one.
Oh, that was bad.
All right, and the other one, since Jay did a couple of role-playing questions, I have to do that too. Okay. And have you ever role-played during a sexual situation, be it regular sex, masturbation, cybersex, whatever? Have you ever role-played during one of those and kept it up before, during, and after climax, like the entire time?
Well, I've never actually done sex in that manner on roleplay. Are you talking about any particular instance.
Have you ever role played during a sexual encounter? It doesn't have to be video game role play. Like you could be wearing the naughty nerd shirt.
No, unfortunately, I'm not that adventurous. You know, I'm just basic guy. So no, I can't say I've ever role played.
Yeah, you get what you can get, right?
Well, having said, I don't really complain. You know, whatever's offered, I'm taking it. Okay?
I'll take it. Yep.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, thank you for answering honestly. And next,
Go ahead, Joe.
Have you gotten laid more in real life or in ARC?
In real life, I haven't gotten laid in ARC, so.
I was gonna say, dude, if you figure out that mod, tell me. I've not.
Yeah. No.
I'm an ARC virgin still.
All right, well, how about this one then? If you had to pick any of the dinosaurs in ARC to fuck, which one would it be and why?
I just like the way you laid into fuck right there.
Well, it would be the Fiamina, and that's the pig one. And the reason would be is because it's a lot easier to grab from the back. The rest of them have a lot of teeth. The pig doesn't actually only has 2 tusks, and that's all the way up front, and it can't swing its head around that high. So that would definitely be the one I'd fuck.
You think you can reach the tusks as handles?
You might be able to if your arms are long enough, but I think it might be a little bit more difficult, but you probably could.
So you pretend they're ponytails? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
You kind of ruined my extra credit. What position?
Oh, definitely piggy style? I don't know. Is that a thing? I'm not even sure.
He was ahead of you there. He's thought that one out.
Oh, man. Well, he role plays. He's used to that.
Oh, trust me. My ego's bruised already today. I've had enough problems with the server, so go ahead. This is cakewalk, boys.
All right, my turn? Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm riffing on this from a little bit of sports radio around here. Would you prefer to have 10 dicks as your fingers or vaginas for feet?
Ooh.
A vagina? How could you have a vagina foot?
Yeah, that'd be like
I'm curious.
Be like a suction cup, no?
Yeah, would you like vaginas?
Suction cup.
So
Be like a superhero.
Vaginas for feet or dicks for fingers?
Well, I don't know, because, the vaginas for feet, does that mean I could suction cut my way up a building or something? That would be pretty cool.
I don't know.
I'm going to go with dicks for fingers because, that's just more to fuck, That's the way I'm looking at it. It's more times to get laid.
Oh, just think what you could do with a vagina feet.
Well, you could also hide your vagina feet in shoes. Your dick fingers would be out for everybody to see.
Yeah, that'd be the most popular guy in the world.
Are they flaccid dick fingers or hard dick fingers?
I don't know. He's got to work for it. I guess they're going to be flaccid.
If they're flaccid, then no, I'm going with the vagina feet then, because let's face it, who wants to see the droopy?
You have they're dicks, so they start off flaccid, and if you got to use them, you got to get them hard.
I think flaccid dick fingers is like the worst superhero name ever.
Yeah, it almost sounds like Edward. Yeah.
Edward
Dick Fingers.
Less popular cousins.
So you might get a bonus question depending on how you answer this next one. So I want a truthful answer, and then, like I said, it could go either way.
Okay.
A scale of 1 to 10, how bad has ARC ruined your life?
10.
And it's really ruined it. It's like spiraling out of control.
Well, actually, I should say it's probably like a 5. It's definitely I've had to actually physically think of things that I have to do, write them down in my real life, not in ARC, in my real life, and to not forget because I get lost in the game itself.
Yep, truth. It takes you over. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Should we give him a bonus question, or should we just let him off the hook here?
No, if we keep asking bonus questions, that's not really fair to the last contestant. So, all right. Everybody's got to give him a score, 1 out of 10. No 0.5s. We need whole numbers here.
Okay. Since I went last, I'll go first. There was a lot of no's there. I was expecting more stuff, especially since you're from Orange County up there. I know that area well. I know what type of people you breed up there, and I was expecting some more scandalous stuff or whatever that word is, and so I'm going to give you a solid 6.
Okay.
All right, I'll go next. I really liked your complete honesty, but I was a little disappointed there wasn't any sort of sexy role-playing story, so I will give you a solid 7.
Okay.
I would have to give you a 6 also, just because you answered honestly, but there was no sordid details or anything really sordid. It was just a no. So I got to go with a 6 because, it doesn't make it as interesting. We're trying to get ratings here.
On the plus side...
Well, then you got the wrong guy then.
On the plus
That's
side,
why you got the 6.
we can call him Flaccid Dick Fingers from now on.
Yes.
It's true.
Should change your Twitter name to that.
All right. And Joe, what's your score?
I think I'm going to go with a 7. You did a pretty good job. You were enthusiastic, but, I mean, you kind of missed out on the opportunity of choosing the Brontosaurus so you can say that it could throw that neck.
Oh my God, the Brontosaurus isn't even tall enough for that thing. I bet stilts would be a little.
Well, you can build stuff in the game, right?
Build yourself a fuck saddle.
True story.
All right, so that gives him a 6.5, which takes the lead away from Devious Mr. Matt. So you are now the leader in our hot seat game. Here you go. So let's see if anybody can beat that, or if you remain the hot seat champion.
I'm sure somebody will come on here and be able to beat me on that.
It's tough. Matt was first. You're second. You understood a little bit more because you heard us berate Matt for the things he didn't do.
I thought the podcast one was the best question. That was I was laughing so hard driving I had to pull over because he wouldn't answer it. And I'm thinking to myself, let's see, which podcast would it be? I'm not sure. So yeah, no, that was a good question to throw him off because he was like stumbling through that. So I was pretty impressive.
That's I hit him really hard with the points there because he wouldn't answer it.
Yep. You have a few minutes to stick around for DILLIGAF?
Yeah, absolutely.
Corey, you want to kick this off with our little intro here?
Fuck yeah. And that is our new intro song. All right, so the topic for this DILLIGAF is, which you guys have probably already heard about, Hello Games. They received quite a few death threats after they confirmed that No Man's Sky has been delayed. They've confirmed that the delay is, August 8th? Am I wrong in thinking that? It's sometime in August that No Man's Sky has been pushed back. And when the story was first reported, when it was first still rumor, it was Jason Schreier from Kotaku who originally reported it, and he actually got death threats. When he reported it, he got death threats. And later when it was confirmed, people continued to threaten him, saying that he forced Sony's hand, which makes so much sense. Later on, Sean Murray from Hello Games confirmed on Twitter that he'd received loads of death threats, quotation marks, loads of death threats. And he actually joked that he'd turned the studio into a Home Alone-style fortress as a result of these death threats. So this week's DILLIGAF is it's like two-pointed. The first one being the quick one, do you give a fuck about the No Man's Sky delay? And then how many fucks do you give about the death threats? So let's let our guest go first.
Oh, as far as No Man's Sky, I mean, I give 10 fucks for that one. Because I actually can't wait for that game to come out. I'd actually like to get something other than Ark under my belt, every now and then. And I'm really interested in the concept itself. So that I give a lot of fun. But the death threats, I don't know. How do you put that in give a fucks? Do I give a fuck that they delayed the game? No, because if they're going to make the game the way it should be, then yes. I would say that I give a fuck if they're doing that way. But I don't know. Death threats against somebody, that's kind of crazy. I don't know how do you put that in a give a fuck? I don't give a fuck that he's getting death threats? No, that wouldn't be right. I give a fuck that they're giving him death threats because that's just not right no matter what you do. So I guess I'm 10 on both.
Who wants to go next? You want me to go?
Sure.
All right. So the game getting delayed, I'd say I probably give 1.5 give a fucks because my expectations on the game are somewhere between here and there, and I have so much shit to play that anything else is just piling on at this point. So if they need more time, they need more time. So that is not a big concern to me. The other aspect of this, threatening someone's life over a video game, I give a lot of fucks about. Let's say 100 fucks there. I guess, first of all, for me, just from the Neanderthal that I am, if I have a problem with someone, I prefer to do it of the face-to-face variety and not these keyboard warrior-type bullshit. And believe me, I've gotten my head kicked in more than enough times and probably will continue to do so in my life. So if I am mad at Sean Murray or whoever, Sony or whatever, I would prefer to do it, face-to-face and let them know this message board crap is for pussies. But just the fact that you actually made a death threat of something so ludicrous about a delayed game, Yeah, it's just fucking detestable. I understand people took vacation time for the game and they planned their life around the release. I understand maybe you can't reschedule your time and all that happens, but, that is life. Nothing is guaranteed, and again, to threaten someone's life over that is fucking some petty-ass bullshit.
Seriously.
You want to step in the ring, motherfucker, like Gina said on that stupid-ass song on one of those records? Step in the ring, motherfucker.
All right, Jay?
As far as No Man's Sky being delayed, I'd probably give one fuck about that. Because if they're delaying it and making the game better, I give the one fuck that I'm hoping that that's why they're doing it. And then I give, the remainder of those don't give a fucks. I don't give a fuck. That's their decision to delay the game to make it a little better, and it's only a couple weeks, so who gives a fuck? As far as these faceless internet troll fucks who are sending out these death threats because they are doing it like Mike said. If they were face-to-face with somebody doing this, there's no way they'd do this. However, they're a faceless person on the internet that's not going to be actually confronting anybody, and, what is the chances that they would even try to follow through on them is about 0. So I give 100 fucks that they're doing it, but I don't really care that they're doing it because they're just doing it for attention and they're fucking assholes. So it's a tough one.
It's tough to distribute your fucks.
It's really tough to distribute my fucks because I don't give a fuck that they're doing it because they're just doing it for attention. Even though they're not getting direct attention, they am now. There's some, hey, I was one of those assholes that did that. So fuck them.
All right, and
Joe?
I give 0 fucks that it was delayed. I've come to the realization that I'm not even going to be picking up the game because it's just not the kind of game for me. And it is the right thing to do. If the game needs more work, delay the game. Don't put out something that's broken. You're just going to piss everybody off. But again, apparently, if you're putting it out a little bit later, you're also going to piss people off, so I guess it's a double-edged sword. But, I give a whole fucking heap of fucks about these fucking pussies that are going to go out there and give death threats to people over doing their job and doing the right thing.
Yep.
For putting something out that they are clamoring for.
Yeah, making a game that they want. The people
right?
that are
yeah,
giving
what do you
death
think's
threats
going to happen if you kill them, you fucking pussy? You going to get your game? Get out of here. Come fight me.
I'm so passionate about my game that I'm gonna threaten to kill you. Yeah, well, that's the way to go, asshole. Now you won't get the game.
Just so we're clear, I apologize. I think I might have been confused at first, and probably the drinking's probably not helping me any. So, about the game coming out, I don't care when it comes out. That's what I meant to say. So I apologize for that. That was a little bit
right.
my give a fucks on that. We're a little
well,
bit.
No, you're invested in the game and you want it to come out, so you care, so you give a fuck, but you don't give a fuck that they delayed it. Correct?
No,
listen,
I don't care they do.
I'm not going to change it in the official fucks ledger I have here. It's gone in.
That's fine.
It's official. All right, and as far as me goes, I give half a fuck that it's been delayed because I'm really looking forward to the game. But at the same time, I'm an adult and I have a true concept of how time works. And I know that if it's delayed a couple of months, there's a reason that it's delayed, like you guys said. And I want a completed game. I don't want a game that's broken. I don't want a Battlefield. I want a fucking fully cooked game that's done and ready to go. And as far as the death threats go, I give exactly 15 fucks because I bet that's the approximate age of the fucking douchebags making these death threats.
Oh yeah.
Because they're adolescent. I don't know how many curse words we're allowed to go into. I don't know which ones are off limits, but they're pieces of shit is what they are, and they're adolescent douchebags who don't have any understanding of what a death threat really is or what it takes to make a video game. And they don't really understand that, they're making death threats that they're never really going to follow through on, and they don't see them as serious. But when you receive a death threat online from an anonymous source, you have to take that shit seriously, especially if you have a family and children that you are in charge of their safety. So, I give 15 fucks, and I hope that these fucks, I don't know. It makes me mad, and it makes me mad. It gives gamers a bad name. It makes me embarrassed again to be a gamer, that people would do this kind of thing. It's like Gamersgate all over again.
Yeah, so fuck those fucktards.
Agreed.
All right, Sean. Well, we appreciate your participation tonight. Congratulations on being the leader of the hot seat.
All right.
And as we mentioned last week, we're looking for more people to partake. So if you know of anybody out there who's listening, drop us a line at Gamers in Beta on Twitter or email us at gamersinbeta@gmail. And you too could be on the hot seat and try to beat Sean. Quicksilver was at 3355 on Twitter, correct?
That's correct.
And one of these days you're going to get that ARC podcast off the ground. Is that correct?
Yep. This month, actually in June. That's the date. I just need to get with some people, Mr. Atwood being one of them, to see when he's available.
I got some good ARC stories, man. Good ARC stories from the center.
I'm sure you do, and I've got some good stories from the admin stuff. Let me tell you, I've never in my entire life spent, and then recently, that's what I was doing tonight up until the point that you called me, was doing admin work on a server because of mods. So, it's a never-ending task as soon as you start adding mods into the picture with anything. So, but I won't bore any of the listeners with that. That'll be a separate podcast, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So, so that's pretty much it.
I want to know one thing, though.
Okay.
How many people were at the last karaoke?
Well, actually, it's funny you say that. The island wiped, so karaoke's gone. I am now I'm now playing a law enforcement officer on the admin server because now I have to start calling dinos. Because we have people on the server. Well, you know what? I'm just going to say the server name now because he said it was all right. It's Mad Morph TV server. His server is Bear Island, is what it's called. And we have people sometimes that maybe go a little crazy about breeding dinos, like 100 plus for one person. Crazy. So I kind of one of my jobs on the server is to just make sure everybody's not derping the server, because the more tamed animals you have, the less wild animals there are, and then eventually it could get to the point where there's no wild animals at all, period, on the island, depending on how much you got tamed. So there's a big thing with that. So
did you craft a badge?
No, you can't craft a badge. I just have riot gear and and whatnot. Just basically just to see that somebody's there watching, that they're not being let roam free, I guess. So,
all right.
To protect and serve.
Yep, that's it.
Well, again, we thank you for coming on. We look forward to hearing that podcast. And I assume Corey will be partaking, or at least a guest on there at some point to get all the good ARC talk.
Yep.
And we'll have to have you back on soon. Thanks, Sean.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. All
right, so let's move into the news, gentlemen, and then we'll wrap this up. 6.5, though, huh? I think we can get people to do better, don't you?
Yeah, 6.5. There is room for improvement, but we have...
Maybe it's partly our own fault. I don't know.
How big are we going to make the leaderboard? Is it going to be like a standard 10, like in an arcade game?
I don't know. We got to see what the interest is first, I guess. Let's get to the news. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had a new video game this week, Mutants in Manhattan. And it's getting terrible reviews. It's got a 45 on the Metacritic. And I don't want to beat up on Activision, because that just seems like shooting fish in a barrel at this point. But I do want to beat up on Platinum Games. In my opinion, I haven't played this game, but in my opinion, the Transformers game was just okay. The Avatar game that they put out was just okay. Certainly, I thought Vanquish was a good game, and people really like the Bayonetta games. Mm-hmm. So clearly they are capable of doing good work, but they are also capable of not doing good work. And I am now concerned about Scalebound. What Platinum games are we going to get? Anybody have any opinions on that, one way or the other? Joe, I know you played the Transformers game, and it wasn't a bad game, but it didn't blow your mind, right?
Correct. I thought that, it was nice, based solely on nostalgia.
And this game looks fine, and they say it actually is pretty decent when it's in co-op. But it's getting 3s across the board from most major sites. The only reason it has a 45 score is because some of the lesser sites are giving it a little bit higher. But I think the highest score I saw was a 65.
It's not that hard to make a good Ninja Turtles game. Just make a brawler, update it, throw in some River City Ransom bits, and you're fucking fine. Just do what Castle Crashers did, for Christ's sake.
So does anybody have any strong opinions on Platinum Games? I mean, is anybody concerned about Scalebound? Are we going to get the Vanquish?
I was concerned about Scalebound when they announced it.
Are we going to get the Bayonetta Vanquish team, or are we going to get the Transformers Ninja Turtles team? I don't know.
Well, it's not a licensed property. It's got that going for it.
Right.
Transformers and Nintendo, or
and
Turtles.
And I've got to say, I mean, I've got to put it in here just because I have to, because it's me, is who are these fucking idiots that are licensing this shit to friggin' Activision and letting them destroy this shit? All right, rant over. But Scalebound, I mean, when they announced it, I was a little worried about it, because at first I was like, oh, this could be awesome, friggin' dragons and stuff, but then, they got their friggin' Dre Beat headsets on and shit. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? So
that game is delayed though, right? And that's 2017.
Yeah, they've pushed it out.
Let's see what's next on the list here. We want to talk about The Witcher 3 is getting new content as of Tuesday. Blood and Wine DLC. I'll be jumping all over that. There is a new patch though coming up beforehand. It addresses some UI issues. It's a 2.9 gigabyte patch, so just beware of that if you're downloading it. And I guess it's already out on Xbox One erroneously, though, so I'm not sure if they've pulled it off. But Jay, have you looked to see if your game updated at all?
I have not. I did not. I haven't even turned an Xbox on all weekend, or at least booted up Witcher with an Xbox on, so I did not. But I think it's kind of neat. I mean, we've all played the game and thought the game was great. Well, I should say that me and Mike have at least, and we thought it was great, and a lot of other people have also, and they're still putting UI fixes and stuff in it for things that people would like to see improved. That says a lot for them.
Yep. Players complained about the in-game HUD as well as the game menu and when navigating the inventory. So all those have been addressed with this new patch. Again, 2.9 gigabytes, and that's probably also paving the way for the DLC as well.
And this is a year later.
Exactly. Yeah. Can't wait to jump back in. And this one here, I actually didn't mention it in my games that I played this week because I really didn't discover anything new or have any new thoughts on it. But I played a lot of Fallout 4 the other day because I want to get to Far Harbor. But the game is not running well on the PS4, and that's where my game save is. And I guess it's running solid 30 frames per second on the Xbox One, and I imagine better than that on the PC. But on the PS4, it's running somewhere around 15 to 20 frames per second at times because of this...
in the Far Harbor DLC.
Yes, the Far Harbor. It's got this volumetric fog effect. And I guess there's a lot of... Is there a lot of fog in Maine, Jay? Is this realistic fog?
Well, if you're by the ocean, yes. Over here, it depends on where you're at. With me, because I'm around the lakes, yes.
Yeah, Far Harbor. That would have some fog.
So it's essentially a thick layer of alpha transparency that is causing the problem. So I think I'm going to wait on this Far Harbor stuff for a little bit. I'm just going to slog through the rest of the game, and hopefully they put a patch out to fix it. The pessimistic side of me say this is their way of screwing over the PlayStation people because they got this exclusivity deal with the Xbox. The mods are coming there first and all that stuff. So this is another way that they're delivering the frames per second first to the Xbox One and later to the PS4.
Mike, take your tinfoil hat off.
Hey, so that's really it's interesting to me because the only time I had any problems with Firewatch is when you had the forest fire and it was rendering all the smoke around you, which is probably a pretty similar effect.
They have mentioned that they think that what might be happening is it's the way the lighting textures, or not textures, but however they calculate the lighting is being affected by because I guess the fog dissipates it or whatever, and that is partially what's causing the issue.
So we're not going to get like a Silent Hill remaster anytime soon on the PS4?
Not on the PS4, no.
Okay.
And last bit of news here, a major developer is working on a VR game for the Xbox One. Now, you think to yourself, okay, they don't have a VR unit, right? They don't have the PSVR. They don't have anything. They haven't announced anything.
Well, the Oculus.
Well, they haven't announced the Oculus.
Right, not officially, but I'm pretty sure.
Right. So this is just more confirmation that the Xbox 1.2 is going to be partnered with Oculus.
Yep.
The game is supposed to launch in 2017. It will be shown at E3. There's been no confirmation if it's going to be shown publicly or behind closed doors. The game has been in development for some time. It is made by a European developer, a well-known European studio, and the game is set in the universe of an established, long-running franchise.
Fable?
So do we consider Ubisoft a European developer? They're from France, right?
Nah.
No?
Yeah, they're a French developer, though.
They're a French
Canadian
publisher.
French?
But yeah, their headquarters are in France.
It's not Halo. That's where I would go, obviously, with Microsoft. That's what I would first assume is it's a Halo universe, but that whole European thing throws that out the window.
Well, a long-running franchise in a European studio.
Yeah.
Rare?
I don't know.
Rare's in the U.S. now, right?
I bet it's...
But what's their long-running franchise?
Name a shitload.
Battletoads.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a long time ago, but not long-running.
Yeah, I think it's Assassin's Creed. I bet it's an Assassin's
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking...
Yeah, that would make sense, especially with the delay of not having put out an Assassin's Creed. That could fit into that.
All right. Well, we'll find out soon enough. That's all I had for the news this week, guys. Real quick, I wanted to get into the Smells Like New Plastic segment here. I picked up a Senti USB 3.0 hub and charger for my PC. I have some USB issues on my PC, and so I bought this thing, and it works great. You know, you can't ask for more than 10 USB inputs. It charges my phone at the same time as well as being connected to the computer. So I'm in love with this thing. Picked it up on Amazon. I think it was like $39.99. So it's got this chrome look to it. It's real sleek looking. Looks nice on the desk. So I'm real happy with that.
How many can it charge at once? 10?
No, it has 7 USB.
Nice.
And those can be like charges. I mean, you could put my phone in there, but it will just charge it slower. But then it also has 3 charge ports as well.
Yeah.
So it's good.
That's pretty sweet. I think I don't remember what brand I have, but I have one that I think has 6, and I love it too. It's so great.
Jay, you had something to share real quick?
Yeah, it just kind of follows up on last week's. I got the processor. Well, when you put a processor in, you got to use thermal paste on it, or thermal compound. And I asked around, and I actually got an answer from one of the engineers from AMD and a couple other people that build and do a lot with CPUs. So they told me to pick up this Goliath Extreme, the GC Extreme. So I picked that up. So that means hopefully I'll be putting my processor in soon, because I did put it off because I have been busy this weekend, and I didn't want to do it before we did the podcast and affect the PC. So I may be trying to get to that tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, that's it for 152. Again, thanks to Sean for coming on. Again, we're looking for people to jump in on the hot seat. If people want to jump in, let us know, and you could be on next week with us. As always, leave us reviews wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate that.
Please.
And any sort of shout-outs or plugs from any of you guys? Joe, what's going on with Trade Waiters?
I just did an interview yesterday with 2 of the team from Captain Ultimate. It was going to be all of them, but one of them couldn't make it at the last minute. And they have a Kickstarter going on, so we talked about their Kickstarter and just about their comic and everything. It's an all-ages comic, and they're trying to get it brought to print. It's already out by Monkey Brain digitally, but they want it to be able to be in libraries and stuff like that. So they got a Kickstarter going on, and so I talked to them, and I want everybody to go and back them if that interests you whatsoever.
Corey, how about yourself? Anything new at Bago?
Nothing major. Follow Bago Games on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's spelled like you think, Bago Games. And I guess the only other thing I would want to plug is this bitchin' new soundboard.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play this bluesy new elevator music. This Mario
Bluesy, huh?
Yeah, all right. So I won't bore you with that any longer.
No, that was just plain elevator. There was no bluesy to that.
I wanted to slip it in.
BB King is dying.
And Jay, how about you?
No, I think that pretty much covers it, other than thanking the listeners for listening and downloading and listening. Leave a review if you would, please. But thank you for listening. We appreciate it.
So we'll be back next week with 153. This has been 152.
And until next time, same beta time, same beta channel, updated lineup of content, and if you like it, let us know. And until then, see ya.
They can make things worse for me. Sometimes I'd rather die. They can tell me lots of things, but I can't say eye to eye. I know they know the way I think. I know they always will. But someday I'm gonna change my mind. Sometimes I'd rather kill. Bloodstains, speed kills, fast cars, cheap thrills, rich girls, fine wine. I lost my sense, I lost control, I lost my mind.
I don't think you re-added him to the call yet, have you?
Yeah, I did.
He's in here.
Now do you hear me?
Yeah.
Get out of here. I'm sorry.
We paused. Paused. Muted.
Just leave a second of silence and then just act like he just said, "Hey, what's up?" and you can cut all this part out.
Hey, what's up?
I'm going to bed, guys. We'll catch this next week. Take 3. Hey, what's up, everybody? Who the fuck was that?
Not me. I swear to God, it was not me.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
That was me.
I'm out. I'm out. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is the best. Please just keep this.
Oh, there should be an outtake, but
Could be
anyways,
a
all right.
hidden sound at the end.
All right,
Oh my
it's
God.
quiet time.
I can't even get it out. I'm just fucking so aggravated.